Calvin Castine in beautiful downtown Champlain. If you stood where I am standing at this moment on August 20th, 2012, back in 1975, you'd be standing on the steps of the Champlain post office. There are a lot of buildings that were once down in this area that are no longer here, including in that direction the old A&P building and the bank, and before that I think it was called the Costello block or the Baudette block. But in 75 the post office was here. We had a youth center that was in this general direction. Church Street is up that way. Ronnie and Anna Gooley lived right about here. And in that summer of 75 I was reporting for the North Countryman newspaper, and it was a dry summer. Right now we're looking at the community garden for Champlain. This area has been bought out and turned over to the village due to the constant flooding through here. Some homeowners have decided to stay, but most of the property owners have sold out, and this is now one of the buyout areas and community park areas. The village of Champlain is hoping to put in a little recreation park in this general area over here in the coming days. What we are here for is something to compare back to 1975. Because of the drought we were experiencing that year, I talked to a young fella named Bill Hogle, and standing out here in this river with a pseudo fishing pole to demonstrate just how low the water was. And this is how low it is today on this August 20th, 2012. Up that way is the Route 9 bridge, heads up toward the border, and former Coulomb store. Before that, La Fontaine's service station was there for many years, and of course the Champlain Laundry is on the other side of that building, and across the river here was Raymond Bedard's farm equipment for so many years. This is a look at how the river is today, and we're not really here to do a look at this river. This river, but not this particular location. We're going to another location right now. Same river, different location. This is the Great Shazy River, by the way, that runs through the village of Champlain and comes down this way from Terry's Mills. And our location, some of you I am sure already know, is the dam at the Frog Pond or Frog Farm here in Champlain. And most of the time when you come through here, this is a river. If you ever want to know what a river looks like when it ain't a river, well, that's what we've got right now in the Great Shazy River. Last time I recall taking photos here was a day or two after Hurricane Irene. Gordy Little and I came here and did a story with Bob St. John on the history of the Frog Farm, Frog Pond, and water was flowing quite well back then. Bob Ben and I have done a show here also with the water flowing all over the place. But sometimes you have more water than you can handle, and other times you have this. And this dam is allowing a little bit of water to come through and keep the water flowing. But I know at the end of the Great Shazy, after it goes through Coopersville, there are some marinas down there, and they were blaming Hurricane Irene for their problem. Well, problem is the river is low because they have very low water there, and it's very tough for the boats to get to their marinas right now. So that river may be dredging. I mean, it may need dredging, but it's tough to blame it all on Hurricane Irene. I am sure some of this debris that we see here was sent downstream because of Hurricane Irene a year ago. But there's a lot of floods that have occurred on this river over the years, and it's an accumulation. Some of the water washes up along shore along the way, then the high waters come, and some of these debris, some of these logs and stuff wash up along the shore and then stay there till the high water comes and brings them further down. Then they get to a bend in the river, or in this case a dam, and all of a sudden they've got no place to go. So this is our situation here, and I'm not sure if I can get any closer safely, but we're going to take a look and see if we can. There is a path that I could take to get down there, but I don't really feel like carrying my camera down on this area. Back in the early 90s when Bob and I did a show here, or maybe it was a couple of years ago, I came out here and I did take some footage from standing out in the river. I think when Bob and I did the show, it was much like it was last year, a lot of high running water. This is where the train crossed. For those of you not familiar with this area, where the Rutland crossed. There was a tragic accident here back in maybe 40s or 50s, where some folks had been sitting out there and were fishing and didn't hear the train approaching, and had to try to get out of the way at the last moment. They were not hit by the train, but as I recall, not from having been around when it happened, but as I recall from hearing about it later, that they kind of fell into the river, and there was some serious injuries and maybe even a death there because of it. If you want to know for sure, check our frog pond tape that we did with Bob Ben, under our What's Going On Here category. This is just another look at how it looks here from this vantage point at the dam by the frog farm. Obviously, you're not going to hop in a boat and go from Moores to Champlain today. And it has nothing to do with the mouth of the river being in need of a dredge. This water is moving very slowly because there's very little water here to move. And you contrast that with the pictures we have from floods such as the 1996 flood, and from recent years. Maybe, I'm not sure if we were here in early 2011 when the flooding of the lake was taking place. Probably we didn't. I know we got here after Irene, but you contrast that to the water when it reaches its apex at a flood, and you look at it now and you'd find it hard to believe that both conditions could exist at different times in the same area. One final look from another angle. I made it down here. showing my supreme confidence in this dam. If it were to let go, I would be under the bridge on Route 9 very shortly. For showing our supreme confidence in this bridge. The size of the driftwood that's been left here. The driftwood that's probably going to stay here till it deteriorates even more and gets into smaller pieces, and next flood that comes along will wash it further down. Nothing much going on here, just what I felt would be some interesting look at the river. And our thanks to Mrs. Markwart for giving us a call yesterday and inviting us down here. And we'll close our look at the Frog Farm Dam on this August 20th, 2012. You're looking at the Great Chazy River.